I inherited my uncle's apartment in March of 2024 when I was 29 years old. Uncle Richard had died of a heart attack, alone in the apartment. The neighbors only noticed 3 days later because of the smell. I was the only living relative, so everything fell to me. A 3-bedroom apartment in an old Chicago building, built in 1923. I lived in Boston and worked as an architect. I didn't know my uncle well. We'd see each other at Christmas, maybe. Superficial conversations. He was quiet, reserved. He was never married. I decided to go to Chicago to evaluate the apartment, to see if it was worth keeping or selling. I arrived on a Thursday afternoon. The building was exactly the type I expected. Red bricks darkened by time, 6 floors, an old elevator with a barred door. The apartment was number 4, B, 4th floor. The building manager, Mrs. Ross, handed me the keys. She was about 70 years old. She looked at me with a strange expression when I mentioned that I was going to live there temporarily. She asked, "Are you going to stay in room B?" I replied, "Yes, for a few weeks. I need to get things organized." She remained silent for a moment. Then he said, "Your uncle was a very private man." I found the comment strange, but I didn't think much of it. I went up to the 4th floor. I opened the door. The apartment smelled of mildew and something sour. Old furniture, peeling wallpaper, heavy curtains blocking the light. It looked like no one had cleaned in years. Before leaving, I had requested the original floor plan of the building. It's an architect's job. I always analyze the structure. The plan clearly showed apartment 4B, 3 bedrooms, living room, kitchen, and 1 bathroom. I started exploring. Living room, old brown sofa, tube television, stacks of newspapers. Kitchen, small, dirty, sink full of dishes. Bathroom, cracked tiles, stained bathtub. First bedroom, single bed, empty wardrobe, presumably the guest room. Second bedroom, my uncle's room, unmade king-size bed, clothes scattered everywhere, old dresser. I went back to the room. I picked up the plant again. 3 bedrooms. I had only seen 2. I walked back down the hallway, recalling the layout. Living room to the right, kitchen to the left, straight hallway, bathroom, 2 bedrooms. But the floor plan showed 3 bedrooms. The 3rd should be here. I stopped at the wall at the end of the hallway, between the 2nd bedroom and the bathroom. It was just a wall, painted the same worn beige as the rest of the hallway. But the proportion was wrong. I measured by steps. From the bathroom to the 2nd bedroom, 4 meters. I looked at the plan. It should be 6 meters tall, 2 meters to go. I placed my hand on the wall. I tapped lightly. Hollow sound. There was something behind it. I grabbed my flashlight. I shone it on the wall from the side, and I saw a line, almost invisible, the outline of a door, painted the same color as the wall, perfectly camouflaged. I felt a chill. I ran my fingers along the line. I found the edge. I pushed. Nothing. Locked. I looked for the doorknob. It wasn't there, only the outline of it. I improved the lighting. At the height where the lock should have been, I saw it. 7 keyholes, aligned vertically. 7 different locks. Who can lock a door with 7 locks? I went back to my uncle's room. I searched for keys, drawers, coat pockets, under the mattress. I found a bunch on the bedside table, 12 keys. 7 of them were different, old, numbered with adhesive tape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I went back to the camouflage door. I started to unlock it. First lock, second, third. My hands were shaking on Wednesday. I stopped before the 7th. Why would anyone lock a door like that? What was inside that needed 7 locks? I took a deep breath. I turned the 7th key. Click. I pushed. The door opened. Complete darkness. Strong smell. Dampness. Something chemical. I turned on my phone's light. Here you go. A small room, no windows. Walls covered, completely covered, with photos, hundreds of photos, all of me. My stomach churned. Photos of me leaving work, entering my apartment in Boston, at the supermarket, at the gym, at the cafe I frequented every morning, all recent. I looked at the dates written in the corner, last 6 months, November, December, January, February. My uncle had died in February. These photos were taken while he was alive. He was following me, photographing me. But why? I went further into the room. There was a table in the corner, an old laptop, closed, notebooks piled up. I opened a notebook. Pages and pages of notes.